Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Martine, and if you are new here, I do videos on Vedic astrology mainly, but also with some tropical insights, and I focus on both relationship and natal astrology. And if you like this video and you would like to see more content from me, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And if you're interested in having a personal consultation, I do consultations on a wide variety of subjects. Please check out the video description. I will leave the details there. Thank you. And today I wanted to make a video that I had been considering making for a long time. And it's going to be a general descriptions of Jupiter through the signs with regards to the husband / long-term partner archetype in a woman's chart. Now, again, if you have watched some of my videos, or you have, I guess, some knowledge in astrology, you know that in Vedic astrology, Jupiter is one of the dispositors of the husband or the long-term partner in a woman's chart. It is the main one that signifies the husband. There are other things you have to look at when it comes to reading your husband archetype or what kind of a partner you're going to attract in your life, but this is one of the main single significators. And this is going to be a general description. I'm also going to include what certain aspects would mean from different planets. I have talked about the wife archetype for men in the videos that I made for Venus through signs, but I might also make a video like this for Venus through signs for men as well. I have not included any examples because it's going to be a long description anyway, and I'm pretty sure that you could probably find a lot of examples if you look for them. So first of all, another thing that I want to add is the difference between Jupiter and Mars. I have also talked about this in other videos. Jupiter is it's the husband archetype because women look for long-term stability. They look for a man they will admire, who's going to be like a kind of like a guiding / teacher force in their lives, and also a person who's going to be good with kids. And all of this is signified by Jupiter. Whereas Mars in a woman's chart will show the kind of man that she is attracted to physically. And I might do a separate video about that as well. But I also briefly touched upon the types of men that women are attracted to in the videos that I made for Mars through signs description. So you might want to check those out. So again, without further ado, let me get straight into the descriptions. Jupiter in Aries, or aspected by Mars. This means that the kind of person that you're going to attract is going to be so-called traditionally masculine. So this is very likely to make you attracted to the typical rugged, masculine manly man who likes to ride bikes or motorbikes. I don't know, like who does really manly stuff, traditionally manly stuff. It also shows that his character is going to be assertive, active, most likely going to be interested in sports, especially combat stuff like, I don't know, karate, taekwondo, krav maga, all that stuff. Any form of fighting or whatever is something that they're going to be interested. They might work in professions of like engineering, IT, anything to do with actual mechanics, like not so much electricity or, theoretical things, but especially like hands-on engineering, for instance, like hardware engineers or technicians, or anything to do also with the physical body. So they could be surgeons, dentists, things that have to do with the head, like brain surgeons, stuff like that. Eye doctors also to some extent. Also any profession basically that implies using tools, cutting things. Mars is about things that pierce the body, so tools that any profession that requires you to pierce things is basically seen by Mars. It can also to a lesser extent show things like butchers, for instance. or of course connected to the military, to defense forces, so police, any branch of the military, etc. All of that can be shown by Mars and Aries. And again, aspected by Mars means could be conjunction, aspected by fifth aspect, by seventh, aka opposition, or by ninth aspect. But especially conjunction and by opposition. Those are the strongest aspects that Mars could make to Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter in Taurus, or aspected by Venus, conjunction or opposition. This shows that you will be attract a partner that is going to be handsome, sensuous, will have a pleasant voice, interested in acquiring wealth, and material comfort in general. They're going to be interested in the arts, cooking, especially in Kritika Nakshatra, might work in business or finance, so any kind of profession that is directly connected to money, handling money. And also could be working in arts, and or at the very least will be interested in arts and the finer things. Again, like I said, could be, food, drink, anything to do with, the five senses. Music could also be a thing. And also basically says that you will be mainly attracted to a man who is sensuous, good-looking, and affectionate. And Jupiter in Gemini, or aspected by Mercury, by conjunction or opposition, the only two aspects that Mercury can make in Vedic astrology. The partner will be versatile, resourceful, youthful, either physically or just mentally in character, will be interested in many subjects, might have more than one job or more than one occupation or more than one source of income. They will be the kind of person who's kind of jack of all trades. Or at the very least, they will have a finger in every pie, that kind of thing. So they will be drawn to many things. On the downside, they could be a little bit scattered. So that's kind of the downside. They will be, however, intellectually stimulating, and they will be a good conversationalist, and is very likely going to work in some kind of an intellectual profession. Could be anything to do with anything to do with communication, basically, can be ruled by Gemini, and anything to do with using hands as well. So they're going to be interested in sports, for instance, like tennis and stuff. That's pretty much what I can say. Jupiter in Cancer, or aspected by Moon, will show that your partner will be very sensitive, very emotional, very nurturing, and attentive to your needs, or at least the kind of partner that you're going to be attracted to / attract. They're going to be very attached to their home, to the family, especially the mother or the mother figures. Imaginative, will have rich fantasy life, rich imagination. Again, I said affectionate, I think I did say that. Comfort loving, could be a homebody or somebody who really cares about, the home, and could work in anything to do with, let me think, the restaurant business, the hotel business, things to do with nurturing, or to do with maternity, to do with, maternity, yes, nurturing people, cooking to some extent, restaurants, so I mentioned that. Can also be real estate or anybody who works from home, and can also be a person who does interior design, for instance, so anything to do with the actual home, or an architect if there are other influences. And also aspected by Moon means conjunction or opposition. Okay, Jupiter in Leo, or aspected by the Sun, conjunction or opposition. The partner will be confident, energetic, can easily reach a position of authority in their profession or in society, will be fond of dramatic expression, of artistic expression, will be creative, romantic, will like children, or will be very interested in having children or working with children, might be in some kind of a profession where they have to work with children, can show that this person can be a teacher or something, but can also be somebody who's artistic or some kind of a leader. Anybody who's a leader in any kind of leadership position can be somebody that you are attracted to or will attract. Can also show literally actors, so people involved with the dramatic arts in general. People who are good public speakers. This is Leo. So people who are somehow in the forefront somewhere, or like, in the forefront. So, public speakers, something like that. Anything to do with public speaking, creating, artistic creativity, etc. can be something that Jupiter and Leo will be attracted to. Also, it can show employed by the state, so working for the government or something like that. Jupiter in Virgo will be analytical, maybe a touch neurotic, interested in natural sciences and health, might work in a health-related field or hygiene-related field. And if medical science is not the main attraction or main profession that they will go for, it's very likely that they're going to go for things that are very analytical, so maths, physics, things that, have to do with a lot of analysis, basically, anything like that. To a lesser extent, could be something like an accountant or something that requires high attention to detail. This is also, speaking of attention to detail, kind of a neat freak, so this is someone who will be very organized and very careful about cleanliness. And also it's likely that they're going to be showing their affection by doing things for you, doing practical things, serving you in some way, not so much through actual physical affection. This is what I can say. Jupiter in Libra will mean that you will have a partner who will be very diplomatic, kind of refined intellectual type, might work in the justice system, legal professions, anything to do with the justice system, or connected to literary arts, any kind of profession that requires negotiations, diplomacy, one-on-one situations. I don't know, contract creators, is that a thing? Basically a divorce lawyer. I'm kidding. Well, that's actually a possibility. Yeah, pretty much. So, Jupiter and Scorpio. Partner will be secretive, mysterious, very ambitious, determined to be successful, both materially and socially. Might use manipulation in general, so be careful. Especially against opponents, but they could use manipulation as a tool in general to get what they want. They might be involved in secret professions, so spies or private detectives or anything to do with research. So they might be involved in psychology again, and things to do with human psychology, or any kind of research work is shown by Scorpio. Detective work, like I said, can also be connected to weapons, nuclear power, that kind of thing, to a darker extent. So it could be someone who deals with resources as well. So things like renewable energy sources and stuff like that. That can also be a thing. And also there will be a naturally good psychologist, or somebody who's, like I mentioned, doesn't wear all their cards on their sleeve. So you can't really tell what they're like when you first meet them, but they are likely to be very profound in their emotions and very loyal. And they're also going to be interested in power in general, maybe even political power, and will have an interest in occult practices. And things like, astrology, astrology, tarot, this kind of stuff. To a darker extent, they might be interested in cursing, as in laying curses upon their enemies. Jupiter in Sagittarius. Partner will be very optimistic. So Jupiter is really dignified in Sagittarius. So the partner will be very optimistic, broad-minded, fair-minded, philosophical, physically and mentally adventurous. Might work in a teaching position, teaching professions, or as some kind of a motivational speaker, philosopher, or some kind of a member of a religious group, so a religious representative. Anything that, and also any profession that basically requires a higher education, so master's degree and above. So anything like research assistant, that kind of thing, that can be shown by Jupiter in Sagittarius. And also can also show justice system as well, because Jupiter is about the justice system and it's pretty strong in Sagittarius. And Jupiter in Capricorn, the partner will be more likely mature, most likely at least in outlook, if not physically more mature than you. Serious in outlook, a traditionalist, carefully follows the social rules and expectations, will be a patient, hardworking type, will rely on slowly reaching a high status through their own efforts, will want to be self-made, could be religiously dogmatic if they are identifying as religious, and not particularly open-minded in general with regards to, you know, being open to new beliefs or new outlooks on life. So basically, in other words, they might be a little bit narrow-minded. They could be, let me see. Right, they don't really, they want to stick to the tried and true, so they're not gonna go against social conventions and social, expectations, and also family conventions and family expectations. So this is somebody who is very likely going to want to impress their father, especially because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is the natural ruler of the 10th house. 10th house is the house of the father and father's status in life. So this shows me this is a person who, you know, they want to make their family lineage proud in life. So yeah. Also, yeah, they might actually work in their father's profession as well, so you might want to watch out for someone who works in their father's profession, or the paternal side, the general professional arenas that the paternal side of his family goes into. And also, another thing that can be said is that they can be a little bit pessimistic and grim, so yeah. Jupiter in Aquarius. This is someone who is non-conforming, thinks outside the box, will emphasize friendship in relationships, will respect your independence, but will also expect his independence to be respected, will be focused on sciences, social, political issues as well, might work in anything to do with technology, especially electronics, but will also be very spiritual and not necessarily following an organized religion. They can also be fond of astrology and tarot and other esoteric practices. And yeah, so basically this is Jupiter in Aquarius can show a scientist. So somebody who, again, can also be someone focused on physics, math, any kind of exact sciences, but it can especially show people who are somehow involved with technology, using technology in their profession on a regular basis. Jupiter in Pisces shows that the partner, again, will be optimistic, broad-minded, because Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. They will also be tolerant and empathetic and have a kind of all-encompassing level of empathy for all living beings, will be especially drawn to certain religions like Christianity or Buddhism because of the all-encompassing tolerance and love for all things, and might work in areas connected to the ocean, literally anything connected to the ocean, like marine biologist, navy, etc., or any kind of like religiously connected profession, so something like a pastor, just I don't know, for example, could be. And yeah, that was pretty much it. This was my very brief description of Jupiter through all signs and what they will mean with regards to a woman's spouse / long-term partner. And yeah, so once again, thank you for listening. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And if you're interested in a personal consultation, please check out the video description. I will leave the information there. And once again, thank you.